Welcome to Varsity. I'm Ryan Aber, joined by Scott Wright. Scott, a big week in Class 5A this week, a couple of critical matchups, especially in District 1 and District 2. First off, a game you're going to be at, McGinnis at Carl Albert on Friday. McGinnis is a team that's really seemed to step out well in their first year at 5A. Carl Albert struggling. What do you make of this one?
It's going to be a heck of a ball game. You know that right away. Carl Albert's been a tough team to figure out. Defensively, seemed to play pretty well last week against Deer Creek, but came away with the loss in that one. Only able to put 7 points on the board. A lot of work to be done there with that team. No skill position guys came back as returning starters this year. Some really good linemen to build around, but still a work in progress for Gary Rose. McGinnis is a team that's looked really strong. Some impressive wins to this point in the season. It's going to be a tightly contested ball game, a really hard-fought ball game. These are two tough teams that know how to win. So we'll see what happens. It should be a good one on Friday night.
And we're just shy of the halfway point, but still, you look at the playoff implications of this one, especially with how tough the top of 5A1 is with Del City and Lawton Mac. If Carl Albert, for example, were to lose this game, they'd be in a tough position, and still having to play Guthrie and possibly be in that 4 spot and having to go play Del City to start the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. It's that district with Carl Albert, McGinnis, Deer Creek, and Guthrie is really loaded at the top. You've got to every game is important for jockeying for your position in going toward the playoffs. And Del City is a team that's bounced back a little bit after an interesting start, a couple of losses to start the season. You're going to see them this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And Del City was a team that we knew would have some struggles early. They were 1-9 a year ago, had a lot of guys back, but their schedule was just so brutal. Tulsa East Central, Norman North, who's proven to be a very good 6A team, Midwest City, and then Lawton Mac. They've got out of that stretch 2-2. They got to feel really good about themselves heading into this week hosting Ardmore. Should be a great game. Del City's line especially has played really well. Jake Wareheim leading the way at center, and Corey Lawrence, John McBride, wide receiver, quarterback, really making things happen. McBride is showing his legs a little bit. We knew he could get the ball to Corey Lawrence. He's done that, but he's keeping teams honest in that the run game, and it's really worked well for them the last 2 weeks in wins over Midwest City and Lawton Mac.
Talk about Anthony Mason at running back as well. He was a guy that when you saw him last year or early in the preseason this year, a really impressive looking little guy.
Yeah, he's like a 5'6", I believe, and just really hides well back there, and then all of a sudden he breaks loose. But he's tough for his size. He's not just a guy who's going to beat you on speed alone. He can break tackles. He was able to do that. I watched him play against Tulsa East Central and really made a lot of things happen and kept them in that game until really late. And we know what kind of team East Central is.
One other big topic coming into to Week 5, Rafe Watkins is back at Guthrie, so it should be an interesting seeing how they react to having their head coach back on the sideline.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They were without him all during the playoffs. It didn't seem to make a difference as they made their run to the Class 5A state title last year because he's there Monday through Thursdays. He's there with the team in practice, and really losing the Friday nights is a punishment for him, but as far as the team, it's really not. They've got assistants who were able to step in and fill those roles. They were able to do that well. They should win rather handily this week. Next week is when things get really tough for them in District 5A too.
Very good. Thank you for joining us. Keep it on newsok.com/varsity for all the best coverage of high school football and the best high school sports coverage anywhere.